If you think you know AI just because you've chatted with a bot, well, get ready. We are right on the cusp of a huge shift. We're stepping into the era of AI agents, and these are a totally different breed of intelligence. They don't just talk, they act, and that's about to change, well, pretty much everything.
So what's the big deal? What really separates a simple AI from an AI agent? That is the question we're going to break down right now.
Here's the simplest way to think about it. An AI agent isn't just a passive tool waiting for your command. No, it's an active system. It looks at its environment, it takes real actions to get something done, and, this is the key part, it learns from what happens, so it gets better over time.
And you know, this isn't some far-off futuristic concept. The market for AI agents is already worth over $5 billion this year. The economic shift isn't coming, it is already here.
And believe me, that's just the starting line. By 2034, that market is projected to absolutely explode to nearly $200 billion. So yeah, understanding this stuff isn't just for fun, it's going to be essential.
So how does an agent actually do what it does? What's going on under the hood? Let's get into the nuts and bolts.
At its heart, every AI agent runs on a simple 5-step loop. First, it gets a mission. Let's say, organize my weekly schedule. Then it scans the scene, reading your emails, checking your calendar. Third, it thinks through a plan. Fourth, it takes action, maybe sending out some meeting invites. And then, crucially, step 5, it learns. If a meeting gets moved, it remembers that and adapts for next time.
What's wild is just how fast this is all moving. I mean, in just a couple of years, we've gone from basic language models to RAG systems, that's Retrieval Augmented Generation, which just means the AI can look up facts. From there, we jumped to individual agents that can use tools, and now we're seeing the first Agentic AI, where whole teams of agents work together. It's a crazy pace.
All right, to really wrap our heads around what agents can do, it helps to think about them in 4 different levels of complexity. We're going to build this up layer by layer.
Okay, at the very bottom, level 0, you've got the core reasoning engine. This is basically your standard large language model, the kind you find in chatbots. It's the agent's brain, but right now, it's a brain in a jar. It can think, but it can't actually do anything.
A level 0 system is completely disconnected. It has no tools, no memory of past talks, nothing. It can only tell you what it learned during its training, so it's fantastic for explaining a historical concept. But ask it who's going to win an Oscar next year? No clue. It's totally locked in the past.
Okay, let's level up. At level 1, things start to get really interesting because we give that brain a connection to the outside world. We give it tools.
A level 1 agent can actually use tools. It can hit a search engine to find out what's happening right now, or call up a financial API to get a live stock price. All of a sudden, it's not trapped by its old training data. It can tackle problems in the real world right now.
At level 2, the agent gets another big upgrade. It goes from just solving a problem to being a strategist. It doesn't just act anymore, it plans. It helps you proactively, and it even starts to figure out how to improve itself.
Now, the secret sauce that unlocks level 2 is something called context engineering. Think of it like this. Instead of wheeling the entire grocery store into the kitchen for a chef, you just give them the exact ingredients they need for the step they're on. The agent strategically picks out only the most critical info for each part of a task. It keeps it super focused and efficient.
And a level 2 agent uses this skill to manage whole workflows. It can take that super long, messy flight confirmation email, pull out just the flight number and the date, and pop it right onto your calendar. In the software world, it could analyze a bug report, find the problem in the code, and fix it. It's not just doing one little thing, it's managing the whole process, and it's learning to do it better next time.
And that brings us to level 3, which is pretty much the cutting edge right now. This is where we stop trying to build one giant super agent that knows everything, and instead, we build a team of specialized agents that all work together.
Just think about how a company works, right? To launch a new product, you don't have one person do everything. You have specialists. It's the same idea here. You have a project manager agent that delegates tasks to other agents, one for market research, one for product design, another for marketing. Now, this is incredibly powerful, but it's still held back by the reasoning limits of today's models and, frankly, by how well they can learn to work together as a real team. Okay, so keeping those levels in mind, where is all this headed? What's next? Let's explore 5 big hypotheses about the future of AI agents.
The first big idea is about 2 possible paths forward. On one hand, you have the generalist agent, A single, super powerful AI you could just tell, plan the company retreat, and for weeks it would handle every little detail. The other path is more like building with Legos, using lots of smaller, specialized expert models to build a system. Of course, these two paths might just merge in the end. Second, agents are going to get deeply, deeply personal. They're going to shift from just following your commands to actually anticipating what you need. By spotting patterns in what you do, an agent could identify what's called a latent goal, an interest you have that you haven't even fully formed yet, and then it would proactively help you go after it, like finding courses on a topic you keep researching.
Third, agents are going to break out of our screens and into the physical world. When you combine these AI agents with robotics, you get embodied agents. The idea is, instead of your agent just booking a handyman online for you, you could just ask your home agent to physically go and fix that leaky tap. It's a huge leap, bridging digital smarts with physical action.
The fourth hypothesis sounds a little like science fiction, but it's the rise of an agent-driven economy. We could see autonomous agents acting as their own independent economic players. I mean, an entrepreneur could just launch an agent to run an entire online business, finding hot products, creating the ads, managing all the logistics, all at a speed and scale a human could never match.
And finally, the fifth and probably the most profound hypothesis, the metamorphic system. With this, you don't program a system. You just give it a goal, like launch a successful coffee business. The system then builds itself to achieve that goal. It can create new agents, get rid of ones it doesn't need, and even rewrite its own source code on the fly, constantly evolving to become the perfect tool for the job.
And that leaves us with a pretty mind-bending question. We are building AI systems that are designed to achieve goals. And now, those systems are learning how to redesign themselves to get better at it. So, if an AI can literally change its own code to achieve any goal we give it, what happens next?